5 ways to prepare for recessions. A recession is a period of economic downturn spread across several months or years. To help prepare for recession, job loss, or financial hurdle, aim to build an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses. If you are falling behind in debt payment, reaching out to your creditors and ask hardship concessions. Hello and welcome back to Only Pay. We'll be discussing about how do you prepare for recession and best investing strategies during recessions. Be sure to watch all the way to the end. If you are new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button below for more life-changing content. What is a recession? A recession occurs when a region's economy declines for several months or even years. During these periods, the region's gross domestic product (GDP) or the total value of goods and services it produces drops. At the same time, dramatic changes may occur in the prices of commodities like oil or gases. Previously profitable industries may suddenly become less valuable. Consumers may see increased inflation or higher than normal levels of unemployment. As a result, consumer confidence also suffers, meaning that people may be less willing to spend money than they would usually. 2008. For example, Americans experienced a significant recession following a sudden collapse of US housing market. More recently, the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic caused major losses in daily business and employment across multiple industries including hospitality, retail, and tourism. As a result, the US faced a short recession during the early months of 2020. What happens in a recession? During the period of recession, companies make fewer sales and economic growth stalls or become non-existent. To cut rising costs, organizations may be forced to lay off large portion of their staff, resulting in widespread unemployment. At the same time, hiring slow down, making it difficult for the newly unemployed to find another job. Investments like stocks and real estate tends to lose money, meaning that retirement and other savings account can suffer. Lenders may also respond to the increased financial uncertainty by raising their lending requirements, making it much more difficult for people to qualify for new credit accounts. Recessions are unavoidable part of an economy, but you can weather the storm by anticipating challenges early and preparing for the future. With that in mind, here are 5 essential steps to help you plan for uncertain times. Number 1. Take stock of your financial priorities. One of the hardest parts of the recession is not knowing what comes next and when things will get better. That's why it's important to be clear about where you stand financially. Ask yourself these key questions as you take stock of your financial situations. How much cash do I have on hand? How much cash can I get my hands on quickly if I need it? How much debt do I currently have? Credit card, student loan, etc. What are my basic monthly living expenses, including food, shelter, health insurance, transportation, and childcare? Do you have any major life events coming up with significant expenses attached, for example, wedding, a baby, or retirement? Now is the time to understand what you are spending today and to anticipate your needs over the next 6 months. If you are well prepared for a recession, a job loss, or other financial hurdle, you will have an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses and hopefully a healthy nest egg for retirement. If you don't have at least 3 to 6 months of basic expenses in cash, then set that as a financial goal. Start by developing a basic understanding of how you are spending your money and building a budget. Start to build a budget. Figure out your total household income from all sources, including your spouse, partner, and any side hustle that bring cash into the house. You should also include income from investment and any other sources such as child support. Next on the list, your monthly expenses, including your rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, pharmaceutical and medical needs, childcare costs, home and auto maintenance, debt payments, and insurance premium, as well as other regular expenses, including those you only pay annually. Add everything up to understand whether you are spending more or less, roughly the same as you take home each month. Finally, prioritize your essential expenses and make sure you identify the minimum you can spend in a given month to get by, just in case you and your spouse or partner experience a job loss. Your budget may need to adapt in preparation for recession, and that's okay. Try to cut down on non-essential spendings like entertainment, cable, and clothing. While it's unrealistic to think you can cut out all the discretion spending, it's important to separate wants and needs. Look for areas where you may have overspent. Try to figure out why that happened. You might not have extra money right now to put towards your retirement or down payment, which is alright for the short term. Once you get a habit review your finances and looking the problem areas you are off to the great start. Number 2, focus on debt repayment. If you are able, you might be worried about paying off outstanding debts in the coming months like credit card bills, utility or student loans. If you experience a loss of income, you might have a forego paying one or more of these bills, so it is important to understand which bill you need to pay. After all, if you lose money, you may not be able to pay every bill on time or in full every month, and that will have a direct impact on your credit scores. Normally, it's important to do whatever you can keep your credit scores intact, but during a recession, that may be not possible. Therefore, you should prioritize how you pay your bills so your available cash covers as many debts as you able. Make sure pay your rent or mortgage on time in a full. You don't want to face foreclosure or evictions. Make your car payment, especially if you need a car to get to work. If you are facing an income reductions, contact your student debt lender and ask for a hardship applications, which may buy you a few months where you don't have to make a payment. Make at least your minimum payment on your credit card. If that's not possible, contact your credit card company and try to work out a payment plan. Just know that the creditor will likely freeze your account, which will prohibit you from making additional purchase with the card. Continue to keep up with the medical debts if you can. However, do so after other debts are met first. If your health insurance is offered through your employer, you will continue to receive health insurance coverage even if your medical bills mount. If you buy their own health insurance, whether you self-employed or for any reason, be sure to pay your minimum on time so your policy isn't cancelled. Number 3. Remember, if you are falling behind, reach out to your creditors and ask for hardship concessions. This might include making interest-only payment on your debt or putting payment into forbearance. You can also check out your local bank or credit union for a personal loan that there are online lenders as well, and your employer may offer a short-term loan program in times of trouble. If you are making your payment on time, you can also ask your credit card company or any other lender about lowering your interest rates. A significant number of major utility providers offer programs that might allow you to pay your bills at the late date or provide other hardship assistance. You will never know what agreement you and your creditor can reach if you don't ask. Number 4. Consider your career opportunities both now and in the future. Recessions after results is high levels of unemployment. So, it is important to consider how tough economic times could affect your career and have a backup plan should you face off. Start by refreshing connections within your professional network. Be sure to consider not only your co-workers but also any connections you have outside of your current employer. Having established relationship at a variety of organizations can give you a huge leg up in the job market. You might consider reaching out to your network via social media or offering to meet up in person for coffee. It may also help you to update your resume and other job hunting tools ahead of time. As a result, you review your past work experience, look for any gaps. Are there places where you could pursue continued education or additional training? Expanding your skills set is one of the best ways to invest in yourself as an employee. This is true even if you are able to keep your position during a recession. For some workers worried about layoff, it may be beneficial to pick up side gigs such as freelancing or working for rideshare applications. Having an extra stream of income can only help in the event of layoff, but can make it easier to build your emergency saving while you are still employed. Number 5. Try to bolster your emergency fund ahead of time. Even if job cuts or layoff are looming, put as much as cash into your emergency fund as possible. You will need every bit of it when income stop flowing. Give up all the extras including takeout and delivery. While tapping into your emergency fund is never a decision you should make lightly, losing a job or being forced to live on the reduced salary certainly qualifies as a good reason to use some of the cash you put away. However, it is important to rebuild your emergency fund as soon as your financial situation is more stable. Otherwise, when the next emergency hits, you might have to make tough decisions like withdrawing money from your retirement account or applying for your home equity line of credit. Number 6. Make an effort to stay on top of your financial situations. A recession may be an uncertain time, but the best thing you can do to take proactive steps now to prepare yourself. To help you stay on top of your finances in these stressful times, you can trust Equifax for reliable information and you need to know topics. Now, more than ever, financial education is important so you can feel about good where you are with the money, regardless of any challenges ahead. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and be sure to turn on bell notifications so you don't miss any video just like this one. Please give us your thoughts in the comments below and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.